Welcome back to another edition of the Burnout with yours truly. And today we're going to do another tribute to a very special gentleman. But before we get into it, I'm going to do my quote of the day. And the quote of the day is learn to see people for what they are, not for what you want them to be. A lot of times we see people for the best of them. We see them for what we want them to be and not who they are. And that gets us in a lot of trouble a lot of times. But we're gonna dive right into it. And the next person I want to give a tribute out to is Deacon Grover Wheeler. I know this young man, which he's way older than me, but he's a young man in my eyes. He was born 5th, 1936, and he passed away April 24th, 23rd. We'll ever miss him. That's Mr. Bobby Wheeler, Dad. And the one thing I remember about Mr. Grover Wheeler is every time I barbecue, I would make sure I barbecue a steak for him because he loved the steak. And he would always tell me, he said, if I ever open up a barbecue house, I want you to be the cook. And that, to me, that was high praise because he didn't give out empty praises. And for him to say that about me, that really held a lot, and it carried a lot of weight with me. Because when somebody gives you a compliment like that, you don't take it lightly. And Mr. Grover was at his age, and older people tell the truth. They don't care if they hurt your feelings or not. So he never had anything bad to say. I never heard him complain. I never heard him say anything bad. I just always remember him as being this cheerful person that always was willing to throw a smile out there, even when that was nothing to smile about. And he would walk in a room and it just light up. And because he was going to say something funny. And his grandkids miss him. I know Mr. Wheeler miss him. And sometimes you don't have to speak out loud that you miss a person. We know the impact that he had on their lives, on mine, and everybody that surrounded him. He was faithful in the church. I remember when he worked at the bank. He was always active at something. He never really, what I would call, take it easy. And one thing I know about it, when he meant business, he meant business now. He ain't gonna play with you. He ain't gonna joke around. When it comes to business, it's all about business with him. And he was just a good person. And his passing was shock. It was a shock to me, and it's probably everybody that was around him, that was close to him, because it was just it's something that you never expect, but it's something also that you knew at some point each and every one of us is coming. But death is never something that you look forward to. It's never something that you can prepare for, and it's nothing that is reversible. So, I enjoyed Mr. Grover. Every time he came over, whether we were barbecuing or cooking, it made no difference. Or he just came over in general. I know I came visit his house a few times also. He always was just delightful. He was just full of cheer, full of joy, full of happiness, and he was just full of life. And that's what we remember the most of him, is the way he interacted with everybody. He was just somebody that if you knew him, you had nothing negative to say about him. He was just so positive all the time. And I'm not just saying that. I'm speaking on my experience, the time that I was around him. And because this is how it goes, right, wrong, and different. When you're alive, people lie on you. When you die, they lie for you. I'm not lying for Mr. Grover Wheeler. I don't have to. Because he lived his life the same every single day. He lived it to the fullest until the very last breath he took. And sometimes we take for granted a lot of people that's surrounding us, and we don't cherish them like we should. We always say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it the next day. There's been times that the next day and tomorrow never came for some people. So we have to do it today. And he was just so funny to me. And it's just the way he impacted everybody, the way he interacted with everybody. And it's just the way that he talked, the way he loved life, the way he loved everybody, and the way he appreciated every moment and every second that he was here. And that was astounding to me, because we take time out to complain about every little ache and pain. This gentleman, I don't know if he was hurting or not, but he never complained about it. He just kept on going every day, even into his 70s. He kept pushing it, and then it made me look. With the little complaints I had, I stopped complaining. I'm like, if this gentleman can push it through pain that I know he was going through that he never mentioned, I said, let me quit complaining myself, because sometimes we complain unnecessarily, and sometimes it's not warranted. And when you see other people that are going through things that are showing no complaints, always smiling, that kind of makes me feel bad. Like, what am I complaining for? Well, Mr. Grover never complained that I know of. And he never said anything negative about anybody that I'm aware of. And like I say, I'm just giving my experience with him. And every time I ever interacted with him, he treated me as like I was one of his own kids. He never treated me differently. I don't care how many times I've seen him. It was always a joyful meeting and a joyful greeting. And that's what I remember of him. He was just a cheerful person that impacted multiple people's lives in different ways, but it was in a positive way. And we sometimes forget that everybody goes through something, some point in some time. The strong ones don't show it though. They look out for others and put they self behind. He was one of those persons that never put himself first. He put everybody else first. And that's what made him special. Because of that, he put what he was, his aches and pains, he put them to the side and dealt with everybody else. And it made everybody else feel good, and it made them look at themselves like, let me uplift you. You have uplifted me all this time. Well, let me uplift you now. And let me get on your level. Because sometimes we can learn a lot from those who came before us if we just take time out to understand and listen to what they're going through and what they have been through. And Mr. Grover Wheeler lived a great life. He lived a prosperous life. Everybody thinks just because you live a prosperous life, that's financial. That's not necessarily financial. That means you live a great life. That your impact on everybody else was positive, and that the last thing they remember you are all good things. Because there got some people out here that we know that when they leave, nobody's going to really care a lot about them because of how they left and how they lived and how they treated other people. I can honestly say Mr. Grover Wheeler treated me as kindly as my own father would have treated me. And I never seen him frown, ever. Now, when he got through in my state that I prepared, I think I'm one of the top 5 people who can barbecue. He went to sleep. But he always complimented me on it. That was one of the best steaks. And that was a high compliment for me. Because like I say, elderly people or older people, they're not going to lie to you. If they don't like your food, they're going to tell you food tastes like garbage. So for him to say that he liked it, the steak I cooked for him, and that he would, if he had it, he would open up a barbecue joint and let me do the cooking. And that was a very high compliment for me. And like I said, he impacted so many people in their lives, and there's not a day go by that nobody thinks about him at some point. But that's your legacy. It's what you left. It's because how you treated people. It's because of the understanding, the caring, all of these qualities everybody don't have, but he has those. And We just want to remember him. We want to make sure that we send out every possible smile, let us say smile to him, because we know he's resting. He fought a long battle, and it's time for him, and he's resting. It's time to rest now. And we're just going to remember him for all the great things he did when he was here, all the lives that he impacted, all the times that he told you the truth. And it might not have been felt good when he told it to you, but he was honest and he told the truth. And that's something that we can never underappreciate, the honesty of him, the gratitude that he possessed, the loving, caring aspect of him. Even when he disciplined you by saying something that you need to hear, it was with all love and intent. So we're just going to remember him for that, and we're going to always keep him in our hearts and in our spirits, because that's the one place that nobody can ever take those memories away from us. So we want to just say, hey, Mr. Grover, you fought a good battle, you're resting. We thank you for everything that you've done while you was here. And we can never appreciate you any more than we did. So we're just going to say thank you for everything. That's all we have for the burnout today. We'll see you next time. The two fingers, and remember, always flame up, never burn out.